Hello, 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 namaste. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you from my heart. And if you're returning, then welcome back. Thank you for your support. It means so much to me. For those of you that support my channel, you will know that I've got like a weekly reading coming out for all the different zodiac signs, which is a general guidance reading. I'm an intuitive healer, holistic wellness practitioner. Some of the services that I offer, one of the services that I offer in particular that's doing really well at the moment is spiritual regression hypnosis. And the reason I believe why it's doing so well at the moment is because spiritual regression hypnosis, it is about reminding you of the truth and divinity of who you are. It is about you, you know. Yes, it's about past life regression and all those type of things, but it's really about discovering the true you, the true essence of who you are, that beautiful, soul plan, that purpose, that divine potential that you incarnated to experience. It's all about that. It's about discovering that what is the truth for you. What is the truth inside your heart about you? What is the what I call the DNA coordination, or the GPS coordinates within your heart that is so divinely true to you? And it's about unlocking that potential, that beautiful infinite life potential of everything that you could possibly be. And that is really what spiritual regression hypnosis is all about. And there's a link down below in the description that describes just a little bit for us. And of course, I'm a psychic medium. I love, my tarot. I love channeling. I love the beauty of the world, the potential of what the world could become. All right. And today's reading is really all about that, what the world could become. But before we even get into that, all right, I hear so often people say that the earth doesn't really need us. But when you think of it in a different context, perhaps, if you open your mind to the idea that we are all from the one true divine source of love, and we've got many different names for that which couldn't really be named, but I call it source of all, some call it God, different people have different names. But I believe that we are all from this divine source that is all love, and that wants to expand, and experience so much, and from this expansion spread forth what we would call life, humans, plants, animals, earth. It's all love. It's all different expressions of the same source of divine, beautiful love. And that source in itself, every time we rediscover who we are more and more, what we would call like a spiritual awakening, and we embrace that more, and we have this really natural and healthy interest in us, in our lives, and how beautiful our lives could become. That expands even more. So in that sense, we are from source expanded. That source wants us to survive, succeed, be happy. I sometimes hear people say that, as human beings, the human journey, it's about suffering, but it can be so divinely beautiful. But you need to embrace it. All right, and as we do that, we expand even more. And in that sense, we are from source and become source, because it's about expansion, loving expansion. So from that point, when you think about it, that we are love, the animals is love, the plants are love, earth is love. We are all love. So we need planet Earth, and planet Earth needs us, because we all need one another. We are all part of one another. I don't say I don't need this finger. I can do without it, but why would I want to do without it? You know what I'm saying? And so, whereas the weekly readings that I bring out, whereas it's always about us as humans, how we could probably what we can do or embrace or change or open our minds to in order to enrich our experience of life. This particular reading that I'm doing today is about our relationship with the earth. All right, the earth is currently, at the time of me making this, like this video, this recording, the earth is going through such a massive transformational healing phase that it's just beautiful. And when we can understand that as the earth goes through this healing phase, that we are also going through this healing phase, because when we come from the avenue that we are all one, that we are all from the one true source, and that we are all love, and that we are all expansion, then we understand that as the earth heals, we heal, and as we heal, the earth heals. And it's all about expansion, it's all about love, and it's all about giving each other a chance and supporting each other. All right. And for example, as you may see, like for example, I love crystals, but in the same token, I don't believe that I own any crystals, even though I've got some beautiful pieces. Like I've made these, but I just love them because it's like crystal healing. And sometimes people can't come for like a session, so they will say, can you like make me a bracelet or something? And I'll be like, okay, let me tap into energy. Let me see what it is that you need. What do you require? I don't just put different things together, because it's all about energy. And but I don't believe that I own any crystals. I don't believe that I own anything. I coexist with everything, and I love that. I absolutely love that. So yes, I might be wearing them and appreciating them and valuing them, but I also understand the same way as for some of you may have seen my cat Leo, my white and ginger cat that seems to run and take over the show sometimes. I understand that we are all souls expressed in different forms. I'm expressed in human form, Leo's expressed in a cat form, but we all existing together. There's no owning one another. There's no bigger part than the other. And take something like water, whether we are water, or we consist mostly of water. And then I've got this wonderful crystal elixir that we put inside the water. But once again, it is the earth, it's the love of the earth that we are placing within ourselves. And because you can place it inside the water, it's easily absorbed within our body because it's part of who we are. And I'm going to draw some crystal oracle cards just now. But even these, I want you to for a moment just look at these beautiful crystals that I'm holding in my hand, and just close your eyes and just breathe into the beauty and the divinity of the love. Because when we look at something, for example, like a flower that's opening, and we look at the sunrise, and we look at the sunset and the rainbow and the rain and all these wonderful things, we maybe planted something and it's starting to grow, the reason why it takes our breath away so much is because it is that part within ourselves that recognizes the divinity that's taking place, and it's recognizing that even though we're seeing it happening on the outside, it's part of us, it's expansion, it's love. Okay, so using my crystal oracle cards today, I'm going to draw 3 cards. I'm not going to look at what they are. I'm going to draw 3 cards for you. And this is just a general message that you can open yourself to, and just to see what is it that the earth itself is trying to communicate. And I'm going to put them upside down so I don't look at them. Is would like to communicate to us, to humans at the moment, for the symbiosis that there's 3 cards. Let's draw one more. There we go. That we all have together on this beautiful planet Earth. So the first card that came out is Dioptase, and it says heart healing. All right, the heart of the earth is healing. The heart of us is healing. The collective heart that we have is healing. And when we can embrace that, there's so much more beauty that can happen in this world, that we might not understand everything at this particular current point in time, that everything might not be exactly the way that we'd like it to be at this particular point in time. But when we can open ourselves to the idea that that all of which we are and all which is part of us is healing at the moment, then we understand, we can get to see the divine beauty of the plan. It's with like something like, take astrology, for example. So when a person studies astrology, you get to understand how all the different planets and everything that happens in the like the universe and the cosmos and those type of things, how it affects us, and think of it in simple terms. Yes, so Venus is about love, and your moon rising is about your emotions, but think of it in even simpler terms. Every day somewhere in the world the sun is coming up, and then the sun sets again. So whether you actually get to see the sun or not, because it's maybe a cloudy day or not a cloudy day, the sun's still there, and because of that, we get our vitamin D's. There's a process that takes place of condensation. The plants that grow, all those type of things, because of the sun, there's light. Our internal biological clocks know that it's time to wake up and go to work and to do all these type of things that we do. And then the moon comes up, and our biological clock is like, it's time to relax now. It's time for the body to relax, because sometimes we forget that in order for us to have this life experience, we need to have this body. It's imperative that you take care of this body, of this temple that we have, because if we don't have this body, we cannot have this life. It really is that simple. And when you take, for example, of how the moon influences us, and I'm very prone to to experiencing the phases of the moon, because I'm a Cancerian, so I'm very much in tune with the moon, because the moon is like, you've got different planets, for example, that sort of influences different, if you want to call it that, zodiac signs, stronger. For me, it's the moon. And when you think of it, the moon sort of, has the influence on the currents of the oceans and of the wildlife. And if we consist like 70% of water, then obviously it makes sense that the moon has an effect on us as well. And so does everything else. So when we look at astrology, we get to understand, or we get the insight of how everything affects us, Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and whatever. But what we sometimes miss, and this is where we really get to see how we are part of everything, is that everything that we do affects everything else as well. So everything else that happens affects us, but everything that we do also affects everything else. There's no such a thing as isolated events. And I feel with Diopta here, with heart healing, that humanity so beautifully is beginning to realize how we are all one, how we are all connected. I remember, I remember in one of my Facebook lives, and the link for my Facebook account is down below, and my Instagram if you want to follow me. This one day, actually more than one day, but I made this example, and I said that human beings can really learn a lot from a pack of baboons. And I'm from the country originally. I grew up in the country, very, very blessed. I had one of those really blessed upbringings. There was no electricity, there was no running water, and there was lots of nature, and it was very safe. So I've had those beautiful, divine, blessed opportunity in this world when I was growing up. And so I said, we can learn so much from a pack of baboons, because when a pack of baboons come across a field, so maybe pumpkins, they're not just going to eat one pumpkin and then leave and hide it for themselves. No, no, no. They call everybody. The whole pack is there. They share everything. They don't hoard and say, okay, I can't share with you right now because it won't be for me tomorrow. Because they understand tomorrow, when another baboon comes across, probably for a farmer, goodness forbid, another land of whatever, be it like orange trees or potatoes or whatever, really, they're gonna call everybody and they're gonna share. And it used to, it's so amazing. If any of you ever had the bees do the same thing. If any of you ever had the privilege of watching monkeys, little monkeys, oh, they're so cute. They're naughty, but they're super cute. So when I used to spend time at my one sister's house, she had this big sort of forest across the road from her, and monkeys work together in they basically work together in a group, and it's so beautiful. This one is watching out, that one's watching out, they call each other, this one's taking care of the little younglings, and so one will go out and they form like this chain, sort of like working together, and then so this one will go and get the fruit or whatever it is that they are grabbing, and they will throw it to one another, and in that way everybody eats together. And I feel that humanity is so beautifully coming into that. And in that way, we are aligning with the earth as well, because we've been doing quite a lot of damage to the earth over the years. But we're really getting to understand that the earth needs some time to heal. And we're beginning to understand that with life, with there being cycles within cycles, we are beginning to understand that the human life, so to speak, from the time that you enter this earth experience as birth to the time that you pass, to call dying. We are a shorter cycle within a longer or bigger cycle, which is the cycle of earth. And obviously within the cycle, we also get to experience other cycles. Seasons and rainy days and sunny days, and maybe you have I don't know, like a cat, for example, that generally has like a shorter life cycle than you. So it's all cycles within cycles, but it's all one beautiful heartbeat. And we're really beginning to get that. And the earth is thanking us for that. It's thanking us for that, because we've been disrespecting the earth for quite some time there. Azurite, expanded awareness. This is actually the fourth card that I was guided to pull for you guys. So even though I'm reading it second, it kind of fell on the first card. That's just why I'm picking it up. But it's so amazing when you look at heart healing next to expanded awareness. The more you become aware of who you are, the more you understand who you are. The more you understand that we are so much more than just human beings. Sometimes we think of ourselves as just a human, just one. No, we are part of so much. We are part of absolutely everything. All right? Trust that everything is going to be okay. Trust that everything's going to be fine, because when we understand that there is so much help available around us, angels, our soul family, our guardians, but also the fairy realm, the energy of Gaia. So often we want to do all these divine things, we want to open our third eyes, and we want to astral travel and and channel and all these things, and they are wonderful, 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 beautiful things. I mean, I was born with the sort of natural ability to do all of these things, and I love teaching it to others. But the thing is, we are all able to do these incredible things, and the amazing thing is that when we realize that life on earth is such a divine, beautiful occurrence, that you come here and you are able to have the experience of life, life manifested, that you're not just energy, that you don't just understand that you have the possibility of being, but that you are actually being, that you are, you are basically knowing expressed into being. And it's incredible. I always say that when you think, I'm going to look at the last card now, but just imagine from the soul plane, if you look at the possibility of the earth plane, and I believe there are many different versions of earth. I've had some incredible visions about that maybe I'll share at some other point. But just imagine looking at earth from the spiritual realm, where you're pure potential. It's almost like walking around on the outside of like an amusement park, where there's like roller coasters and swings and all those type of things. It's one thing to look from the outside and to say, I can do this. I can go on those roller coasters. I can have that experience. I can have that food. I can have that joy. I can do all those things. But it's a very different thing to actually go in and do it. And with the experience of earth, it's like going into that amusement park, but it's like being on that roller coaster. It's like having that experience. Often as humans, we feel that the experience of soul having a human being experience, that it is a limited experience. But can you imagine from the soul plane, when we are being looked at, we are the ones that are having the privilege of being able to have the soul having a human being experience. We don't just know that it's possible, we're actually experiencing the divine possibility of being. All right. And what is the look at the last card? Relationship healing. Okay. Confirmation from the earth, confirmation from the divine, confirmation from all that we are, that the relationship that we have with all, which is really the relationship that we have with ourselves, that relationship is healing, it's expanding, and as it heals and as it expands, it more beautifully just just unfolds, and it's quite incredible. Let me actually just gonna open this quickly from one of my probably favorite decks, the Good Tarot. I'm gonna draw you a card, but I did a reading for somebody yesterday, and I just looked at it now. When I opened it, these two cards were actually laying right on top. So I'm just going to show you those, in fact, because it's so amazing. King of Air and King of Fire, and in traditional Rider-Waite tarot, which I love teaching to others, this is really the King of Swords and the King of Wands. All right, and it speaks about the power of our decisions. And for millennia, humans have been making decisions, but we've been making them from a point of greed and selfishness because we thought there's not enough for all of us. But now, when you come from the point where you understand that we are everything and everything is us and we are all one and we are all together, can you imagine? Can you even begin to imagine the beauty of the decisions that will be made, not only by the powers that be, but by us? Imagine if just, I want you to actually get the power that you have to change the world in a positive way by just accepting the idea inside your heart of how powerful and how beautiful you are, the different ways in which you will live your days, that smile that you give to somebody that you need. We sometimes underestimate what we call the small things in life, but this is the difference between going to get something at the store and understanding that we are all connected. So you make a genuine connection with that person who rings up your whatever it is that you are buying, and you have that genuine moment of connection. What we would call probably kindness, but it's just really truth and honesty. It resonates within your soul, and it can make all the difference, because maybe all that person needed was somebody to just really realize and acknowledge their divine beauty that can make all the difference in that person's life. And that is the power that every single one of us have. We don't have to look to the government. We don't have to look to our leaders. We don't have to look to anybody. Okay, the ability to create an incredible, beautiful world, it is within all of us. We are born with that incredible potential. Okay. I honor you for your time, for your love, for your kindness, your support. If you would like to, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I've got a weekly reading coming out for everybody. And I hope that the message resonates with your heart. Namaste. Love and light.